I spent 7 months and 139 attempts to be able to send this MoonBoard benchmark 6C plus. At first, I thought the problem was my strength, but after doing the boulder for so many times, I realized that the issue was not my strength, but it was me repeating the wrong movement. The problem I'm talking is barn burner. My last 6C plus on the Moonboard 2017 and the one that is gonna allow me to step to the next grade. At the beginning, it was just a normal boulder. I didn't put too much attention. I know that it's gonna be hard. It was one of the least repeated 60 classes on the moon, but I knew from the beginning it's gonna be a challenge. I was not giving too much weight to it. Sometimes I was trying, but I still had so many problems to finish, so I was not paying too much attention. And I was not even like putting so much stress on myself. Once Barn Burner became my last 60 classes, things started to change. What I mean by that is that this was the last boulder that was stopping me to get to the 7 A's. I remember from the first time I was like, this boulder is impossible.
Like we can avoid this. This looks really hard, and I don't think so. Is worth giving it a try since it's gonna be really tough. Okay, this one we leave it at the
Like,
end.
okay, let me try all of them, and I'm gonna leave this one at the end because I knew that this is gonna be really hard. At first, when I was doing the boulder, I was using the easier excuse. Oh, maybe I'm not too strong. I'm weak. I should like improve my finger strength. After trying it so many times, that the problem was not the strength. The issue was that was tiny thing that were adding up that would create me to not send the boulder and fail constantly over and over and over until 139 attempts. Mamma mia, 139 attempts, guys. But please let me know in the comment if there is anybody that ever tried something and did 139 attempts. What I mean by tiny mistakes, my timing was off. I would most of the time rush the crux that will remove the body tension that I have created. My right foot was not pushing enough. My hips most of the time were coming out because I did these mistakes so many times and for so many attempts. My muscle memory learned that I was doing the same mistake over and over without realizing that probably my brain learned how to do the move the wrong way. I had to like now understand which one was the wrong move and then make it the change and then do it the right way. So I had this wrong muscle memory, which made me think that I had beta, made me think that I was doing everything correctly, but I was just going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And the danger of projecting in the long term is that you might become really good at doing the wrong beta. First thing that I changed was the micro beta. I would go home after recording and I would see if my hips were in, if my foot was engaged, if my hands were squeezing correctly, if my body positioning was in the right place, and all these tiny details that I thought were gonna bring some changes or at least some progress in my boulder. This is something that I learned by projecting so hard. At one point, it doesn't become about big moves. It always becomes about even little centimeter of your feet moving, of your hand, makes such a big difference and allows your body to just be in a different position. And I was so amazed, and I'm actually always amazed of how these tiny changes can increase the success of sending the boulder. Something that I have to say as someone that always climbs by himself, filming was definitely a huge part of sending this project because I could come home and watch and rewatch all the mistakes. It definitely helps you to pinpoint what are the mistakes that you're making.
Che due coglioni!
One of the hardest part about projecting for me was especially when I would fail on the cracks over and over and I wouldn't be able to understand. what to change, how to progress. So I will start to get frustrated. When I started to get frustrated and I will fall again and again and just I don't know what to do. I didn't know what other tiny details I could improve. I was really stuck. And at one point it became frustration, frustration became anger, and I was starting to kind of like hate the project quite a lot. It became from this climb is hard to I don't want to quit to I need to get over with this. E che caspita, cioè, ma pure perché if you come in the gym for 7 months trying always the same stuff, I think at one point fanculo a te, a Sorre, a tutto il benchmark che c'è stato 2017, fanculo. Ok. Something strange happened that after 100 attempts, my brain, my body, myself was so much into the boulder, I cannot quit now. Especially because of the challenge. It's not that I can be like, oh, okay, I leave this and then I go. No, that was the last one. That was the gate that will open the 7 A. The breakthrough happened when I went to climb with Abed. Recording myself definitely helped me to achieve and get some improvement in the climb. But when I was there with Ebed, climbing together, working on the same project, seeing how he does the move, and then I could straight away replicate that. So just being able to see Ebed doing the move, try the move the way he was doing, and actually sticking it was that key point where I was like, it didn't felt anymore like luck. It felt like I was in control of the move. That's why I loved so much having a session with Ebed because I could see so much more improvement from the session with him than 80 session by myself. And then I was like, you know what? Let me have one more session with Ebed. He starts to climb on the MoonBoard. I haven't tried any problem yet. Usually I warm up on the boulder. I make sure that I'm warm. First climb of the day, first try. I tried the boulder, the Crux, super easy. Like it felt so much in control. It felt really good. Let me breathe, let me focus, and then let me get on it. I get on it, and this is what happens.
Lock in.
Okay.
Yeah, beautiful. You got it. Come on. Nice. Come on. Beautiful. Yeah, bro. Come on. Come on. You got it. Come on. Come on. Almost there. Almost there. You will send it, bro. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Yes, brother! Yes, touchdown! Yes! Yes! Oh my God! Yes!
You know when you try something for so long, and then you're like, no, there is. I don't know. I don't know if it ever gonna happen because I think that's something that I was having mentally as well. At one point, I was not believing anymore that I would send it. If you are like me, stuck deep into a project, definitely guys keep going because once you're gonna send that project, you're gonna feel amazing. It's just that as well be careful of not learning wrong moves because then when you learn wrong moves, you might end up like me that I'm 139 attempts in and I'm like, okay, I need to change something. Definitely say film yourself, ask for help. If there is anybody that is working on the same project, definitely ask for help because I think at one point it just become so much frustration that the climb doesn't become fun anymore. So it's good to share that frustration with someone. And something that I learned from Barn Burner is that sometimes strength is not the issue. Sometimes the issue might be, as in my case, learning the wrong move and then doing that wrong move over and over and over again until at one point I had to like ask for help. And yeah, I still have to say thank you so much, Ebed, because I think without Ebed, I wouldn't be able now to have sent Barn Burner. And that's why I love the climbing community so much, because at the end of the day, anyone can help you and we can all help each other no matter the type of experience, because we all move differently. This was my experience of a barn burner. I think it was one of the coolest project, and I had such a huge learning curve during this project that now the only thing I want to do is project even more. I know that it brings frustration. I know that it can bring me anger at sometimes, but the feeling that you have when you finish, or the feeling that you have when discovering a new little beta, or the feeling that is when you are like thinking of something and you actually apply it on the climb and it works, it beats frustration, anger, and it's everything. It beats everything, guys. That's climbing. That's climbing at its peak for me. If you guys are projecting now, please let me know in the comment what was your longest project and what did you learn from it. And hope you guys enjoyed this video of me sharing a bit of the inside of Barn Burner. And I'll see you in the next video.